Section 23 of the Pakistan Penal Code, PPC. Reproduction of the section. Section 23. Wrongful gain, wrongful loss, gaining wrongfully. 1. Wrongful gain. Wrongful gain is unlawful means of property to which the person gaining is not legally entitled. 2. Wrongful loss. Wrongful loss is the loss by unlawful means of property to which the person losing it is legally entitled. 3. Gaining wrongfully, losing wrongfully. A person is said to gain wrongfully when such person retains wrongfully, as well as when such person acquires wrongfully. A person is said to lose wrongfully when such person is wrongfully kept out of any property, when such person is wrongfully deprived of property. Ingredients of Section 23. 1. Wrongful gain. The person gains something. The gain is through unlawful means. The person has no. 2. Wrongful loss. A person suffers property. The loss occurs through unlawful means. The person losing the property is entitled to it. 3. Gaining wrongfully and losing wrongfully. A person gains wrongfully if they unlawfully retain or acquire something. A person loses wrongfully if they are unlawfully kept out of property or deprived of it. Important terms. 1. Unlawful means. Any means that violate the law. 2. Real-life example. Case of land. Here is a detailed breakdown of Section 28 of the Pakistan Penal Code, PPC. Counterfeit. Reproduction of the section. Section 28, counterfeit. A person is said to counterfeit who causes one thing to resemble another thing. The means of that resemblance to practice deception. Resemblance is such that a person might be deceived thereby. It shall be presumed until the contrary is proved that the person intended to practice that deception would be practiced. Ingredients of Section 28. 1. Resemblance. More. A person must create an imitation of an object, making it look like another thing. 2. Intention to deceive. The person must intend to deceive others through this resemblance. 3. Likelihood of deception. Even if there is, the act will still be considered counterfeiting if it is likely to deceive people. 4. Exactness not required. The imitation does not need to be an exact copy. A close resemblance is sufficient. Important term. 1. Counterfeit. To create a copy of something with the intent to deceive. 2. Deception. Making someone believe that the fake object is real. 3. Presumption of intent. If an object closely resembles another, the law assumes deception was intended unless proven otherwise. Real-life example. Counterfeit currency. Suppose person A prints fake currency notes that look very similar. They can deceive people with real money. Person A is guilty of counterfeiting because they created an imitation currency with the intent to deceive. Even if person A argues that the notes are not identical to real ones, the law will presume they intention unless proven otherwise. Conclusion. Section 28 of the Pakistan Penal Code, PPC, MAR, defines counterfeiting as creating an imitation of an object with the intent to deceive or with the likelihood of deception. The law does not require an exact copy, just a resemblance that could mislead people. This section is crucial in cases involving fake currency, forged documents, and counterfeit goods, ensuring legal protection against fraud and deception. Here's a detailed breakdown of Section 30 of the Pakistan Penal Code, PPC, valuable security. Reproduction of the section. Section 30, valuable security. The words valuable security denote a document which is, or purports to be, a document whereby any legal right is created, extended, transferred, restricted, extinguished, or released, or whereby any person acknowledges that he lies under legal liability or has a certain legal right. Illustration. Writes his name on the back of a bill of exchange. As the effect of this endorsement is to transfer the right to the bill to any person who may become the lawful holder of it, the endorsement is a valuable security. Ingredients of Section 1. Document requirement. The document must exist or appear to exist. 2. Effect on legal rights. The document must create, transfer, restrict, extinguish, or release a legal right. Acknowledgement of liability or right. The document may also acknowledge that a person has a legal liability or a legal right. Important terms. By altering or signing the back of a negotiable instrument, such as a check or bill of exchange, to transfer ownership. Real-life example. Check issued by a bank. Suppose Mr. A writes a check in favor of Mr. B and signs it. This check represents valuable security because it creates a legal right for Mr. B to receive money from the bank. If someone forges, claim the money. Conclusion. Section 30 of the Pakistan Penal Code, PPC, defines valuable security as any document that affects legal rights, obligations, or liabilities. This section ensures legal protection against forgery, fraud, and misrepresentation involving such documents. Understanding this concept is crucial in financial and legal transactions, particularly in banking, contracts, and negotiable instruments. Explanation of Section 30. When a criminal act is done by several persons in furtherance of the common intention of all, each such person is liable for that act. Explanation of Section 35, Pakistan Penal Code. Section 35. When such an act is criminal by reason of its being done with a criminal knowledge or intention. Whenever an act, which is criminal only by reason of its being with a criminal knowledge or intention, is done by several persons, each of such persons who joins in the act with such knowledge or intention is liable for the act in the same manner as if the act were done by him alone with the knowledge or intention. Ingredients of Section 35. For a person to be held liable under Section 35 PPC, the following conditions must be met. 1. Criminal act. The act must be considered a crime under the law. 2. Participation by multiple persons. More than one person must be involved in committing the act. 3. Criminal knowledge or intention. The crime must be committed with specific knowledge or intent by all involved. 4. Equal liability. Every participant is responsible as if they committed the act alone. Important terms. 1. Criminal knowledge. Awareness that an act is illegal, yet still participating in it. 2. Criminal intention. A deliberate plan to commit an illegal act. 3. Collective guilt. All persons involved are equally responsible, provided they had the required criminal knowledge or intent. Real-life example. Illegal medical practice. Suppose A, B, and C run a medical clinic where they knowingly allow an unqualified person, D, to perform surgeries. If a patient dies due to the negligence of D, all three, A, B, and C, will be held liable under Section 35 PPC because they knowingly participated in a criminal act. Conclusion. Individuals who knowingly engage in a crime are equally responsible. It prevents offenders from escaping liability by claiming they were not the primary actors. This provision is crucial in cases like fraud, corruption, medical negligence, and financial crimes. Multiple people act with criminal knowledge or intention. Explanation of Section 36, Pakistan Penal Code. Reproduction of the second. Section 36 effects caused partly by act and partly by omission. Whoever the causing of a certain effect or an attempt to cause that effect by an act or by an omission is an offense, it is to be understood that the causing of that effect partly by an act and partly by an omission is the same offense. Illustration. A intentionally causes Z's death, partly by illegally omitting to give Z food and partly by beating Z. A has committed murder. Ingredients of Section 36. To establish an offense under Section 36 PPC, the following elements must be present. 1. A criminal effect. The act must result in a criminal outcome, e.g., death, injury, harm. 2. Act or omission. The crime must be committed either by an act, e.g., assault, poisoning, shooting, or by an omission, e.g. starving someone, not providing medical help when required. 3. Combination of act and omission. If both an act and omission contribute to the crime, it will still be considered the same offense. 4. Intent or knowledge. The person must have intended or known that their act omission would cause harm. Important terms. 1. Act, a physical action that results in harm, e.g. hitting, poisoning, shooting. 2. Omission, a failure to act when there is a legal duty to do so, e.g. a doctor refusing to treat a dying patient. 3. Effect, the final consequence of the act or omission, such as death, injury, or damage. Real-life example, parental neglect leading to death. Suppose a father, A, deliberately refuses to feed his child Z for several days, and at the same time, he physically abuses the child. Due to the combined effect of starvation, omission, and beating act, the child dies. In this case, A will be held guilty of murder under Section 36 PPC, as both his act and omission contributed to the crime. Conclusion. Section 36 ensures that a person cannot escape liability by arguing that the crime was committed only partly by their action and partly by their inaction. If both an act and an omission together lead to an offense, the person will be equally responsible as if they had committed the entire crime by an act alone. Dafa 36. Pakistan Penal Code PPC की वजाहत दफा का मितन. Dafa 36 effects caused partly by act and partly by omission.